Yes, Samvartha, please go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, because there is a repeated mention of that particular scene. I mean, which Fabian also mentioned, which Murli sir also mentioned, and also Ramesh Bairi sir also actually mentioned about the man who actually kind of makes a video of these father and son, and as Fabian rightly pointed out, it's extremely cruel. I mean, because he just doesn't make a video. He also says, I mean, remove the buttons of your shirt so that actually they may look actually what to say, I mean, pitiable, miserable. That actually is, is very cruel. But I mean, where actually, I mean, that scene, I mean, really stood out for me and actually kind of, it became such a, I mean, I think, my admiration, my love, my everything for Utsav actually kind of multiplied in that particular scene because uh, it's not just actually kind of see. The father and the son. I mean, when the man, whoever that boy is, I mean, he says that, I mean, take remove the button. I mean, crumble your. Make. I mean, undo the. I mean, crumble your hair a bit so that they look. Miserable. So when all of that is happening, the it's only that man's cell phone camera which actually kind of captures them. Utsav's camera doesn't capture them. Utsav's camera doesn't actually kind of show them in a pitiable, miserable condition. It's only that man who shows. So Utsav clearly actually kind of keeps them out when they're actually kind of being forced to actually kind of look, I mean, in that particular, I mean, dehumanized way. Okay. So, I mean, so that politics, I mean, that's political aesthetics. It's brilliant. I mean, how he actually kind of keeps them out and that man actually kind of captures him, the two of them. It's really brilliant. And also, I mean, the politics of camera. I mean, the way he actually composed. Quite a bit has been said. I mean, just to bring in something which I've already written, which is available there, out there. I mean, the way actually kind of. I mean, he uses. As they start walking. I mean, initially there are close-ups, then there are long shots. The landscape actually kind of starts becoming, and in the end, he actually kind of. Goes for aerial shots. I mean, in the narrative itself, I mean, the story has transitioned to a point where actually their lives have been reduced to dust. That's when he actually kind of uses the aerial shot, where they really look like, I mean, they're nothing. They're just nothing. That's how they actually kind of start appearing because of the aerial shot that is used. And he uses it only at a particular point in the narrative. And that's what actually kind of, I mean, it's a clever, and it's not just a clever use of the camera, but also a very wise understanding of what a shot can do and what meaning it can actually kind of bring in, what emotions it can invoke. All these things actually kind of, I mean, he has employed it so meaningfully. I mean, it's not just okay, I mean, हाँ, drone मिल गया चलो उड़ाते हैं. It's not that. It has to be it has to come in as a meaningful actually kind of what's I mean tool in the film. That's how he uses it, and that's really brilliant, and it's remarkable. And not just that, I mean, even actually, I mean, the way, I mean, of course, Murali sir mentioned about, I mean, how the women are always sitting on the floor, and I mean, uh, the character played by Jangir is, I mean, almost lying on the bed and all of that. Even that one scene where actually, the same character, Kaka, I mean, Jangir, who played by Jangir, I mean, there he and his son, they are watching the TV, and there is a news that actually about, okay, I mean, they are fencing the village and they're not going to let people come in. Uh, all of uh, okay. So I mean, so it's very interesting. It actually kind of speaks about what is I mean the feudal politics and also the caste politics of in that particular village. And Utsav's sensibility is such that I mean, well, this conversation between the father and son, Jahangir, I mean, Kaka and his son is happening. There is a sound of the wife actually kind of preparing roti. So it's the politics is not only feudal and caste, class and caste, it's also gender. And Utsav doesn't actually kind of shy away from actually kind of showing these different layers of actually kind of what is I mean politics. It's gender, caste, class. I mean all of this actually kind of he brings in. That's where I think he actually kind of goes beyond. A certain. Uh, uh, Something which actually kind of a lot of filmmakers seem to have actually kind of internalized. Off late. And I mean, personally, I mean, no offense, anyone. I'm just being a bit provocative and also being a bit honest. I think, I mean, largely, academicians and activists are to be blamed for that. Where actually, kind of, I mean, artists have actually kind of internalized a lot of what is, I mean, a pressure for political correctness, and that's something Ramesh Pairi sir actually kind of mentioned, and I thought it was, I mean, it's very necessary statement to be made. And as a result of, I mean, this political correctness, what has happened is artists have started engaging more with social science than with society. And artists has to engage more with society, not with social science as much as they're doing, I mean, at this point of time. And I think Utsav is actually kind of really actually kind of, I mean, has done that. And that's why probably, I mean, what Ramesh sir was saying, that, you know, the complexity of society. I mean, yes, it's, I mean, the police also can be good. And I mean, there is, of course, I mean, this is not actually kind of, I mean, put a blindfold to all the other things. So, I mean, this, I mean, the complexity of things will actually kind of come across in a much, what is, I mean, clear manner when, when artist actually kind of, what is, I mean, meets eye to eye with society, not with social science. Social science will actually kind of give you jargons, and when it's made through jargons, it becomes totally something else. And that's where actually kind of Utsav really actually kind of excels. And I mean, I personally like this film so much because of that. Because it's actually kind of not, I mean, trying to actually kind of being politically correct. It's trying to be, I mean, it is politically conscious. It's not even trying to be politically conscious. It is politically conscious. And political consciousness is more important than political correctness. I mean, that's something which, I mean, I repeated. And I mean, that's also one of the things over here. I mean, as I was watching this film for the first time, I still remember what I really actually, I mean, that's a temptation even I couldn't have actually kind of resisted. But Utsav does that. When these, I mean, people with a saffron shawl actually kind of, I mean, take a march, go Corona. I mean, it's hilarious. It's stupid. I don't know what to call it also. I mean, any filmmaker or any person, I mean, including me, I would have been tempted to actually kind of ridicule that act of go Corona, go. Utsav doesn't do that. That's the thing. I mean, he could have ridiculed it. I mean, that would have actually kind of completely, I mean, changed the texture of the film itself. I mean, everything. He doesn't actually kind of, I mean, not actually kind of, doesn't actually kind of shy away from, looking at that. He looks at it, but doesn't ridicule that. There, actually, kind of, he's actually kind of excelling. I mean, that's really remarkable. I mean, this entire thing. And the other thing, I mean, because actually Ramesh sir actually kind of mentioned about Bheed. I mean, again, that's the thing. I mean, Bheed, I mean, it's trying to be politically correct, and it's hence it's very flat. I mean, to me, I mean, it's extremely predictable, and it doesn't add anything to what I already know, nor does it actually kind of give me an experience of what it could have been like. I mean, while Utsav, I mean, the film photo, I mean, which Utsav has made as part of Masari Talkies, he is actually kind of not saying something which I don't know. I mean, this is, I mean, it's one of the 100 stories that we have already known, but it creates an experience. Bede fails to do that also. Even if this video gets shared with Abhinav, I don't mind that. But yes, I mean, that's the difference which is actually kind of between political correctness and political consciousness. And I mean, so I mean, it's I think, I mean, of the films that, I mean, of the pandemic which I've seen, I mean, be it or be it Zwigato or Poker Ke Dono Par, which is also set during and this one also, and Andaman. I mean, I mean, Andaman and Photo really actually kind of stood out for me because of its what's I mean, the way it actually kind of captures the complexity, and it doesn't actually kind of fall into the trap of what's I mean, correctness. Uh, yeah, I mean, these were some of the, yeah, I mean, just one thing. Because that question came up. Ramesh sir, I mean, really, I'm really sorry. I mean, I'm being a bit provocative, but I have to do this whenever I get a chance. For me, the question never is actually the can the subaltern speak. For me, the question always is can the subaltern be heard. And somewhere actually, I mean, one of the reasons why actually kind of I liked, Utsav's film and Utsav's voice as an artist is because there is that ability to actually kind of hear and actually kind of just trying to amplify that, and that's really really moving for me. So yeah, I mean, these are a few points that I thought I should actually kind of make. I mean, which is already, I have written it, already, there. But to actually kind of just open up some, some more actually kind of discussion over here. I mean, the more this film is discussed, the more happy I am. Because to me, I mean, this film is really, an epic film for me. Okay. Yeah, thanks. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for patiently listening to me for so long.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Samvartha.